Hi everybody, this is Thursday after work. I'm just shooting the intro to the Nitro Industrial Park video because I didn't do one. Originally I had had everything I did yesterday in one long video. It's like over 30 minutes long. I decided I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to split it up a little bit. So I already posted the bridge video. Now I'll post the one about the Nitro Industrial Park. And then I'll have a separate shorter video about the train I saw in Nitro. So enjoy the industrial park. So after there I went back to Nitro with a little stop in St. Albans. Of course, no trains. I'm going to show you a sign, a historical marker that's going to explain about Nitro. Basically this whole area, this is the interstate coming through here. This whole area south of the interstate down through here was industrial, and now a lot of it is in ruins. So let me show you the historical sign, and then I'll zoom in and show you a little bit and tell you about what I did. I was going to tell you about Nitro, but I think this sign probably does a better job than I would. Okay, there's only a couple ways in and out of this place. The railroad tracks run through here. This is Route 25, which is basically the main road in Nitro. I followed this Republic Way around, and all this down in here has been repurposed as football fields, schools, and all that. I followed Republic Way around, and the first shot you're going to see me, I'm actually standing right here at this intersection, looking back this way. So as you can see in this shot, I mean, there's tank cars here. There's you'll be able to see as I point the camera around different ways. So we're going to find out how accurate Google Maps is again. So I'm on this back side of Nitro between where the railroad is and the river, and these tracks don't look that great, but they're obviously used. I don't know what this place does here, total distribution. And on this track that I'm standing on, if I come back over here, some tank cars back there too. So these are some of the places that are still served by Nitro. Really cool old water tower there. So I'm going to drive on up, see if I can see some other tracks. Far in the distance there, you can see the interstate bridge over the Kanawha River. Alright, so the next shot, I drove up this plant road, and I stopped and I looked down the length of this. This is the building that's all, you know, I have several shots of this where you can see inside it. I drove down here and I parked, looked down this huge long building, and I talk about that a little bit. If you look back this way, and you can see these tanks, and there's some tank cars there too. So even though this place looks pretty much like ruins, there's a lot of business back in there. This is the building I talked about, probably the longest building in the whole facility. It's all been blacktop now. It just looks like a truck junkyard, but at one time, I'd say with that awning there, probably not to load boxcars though, because there's no way they could get close enough to the building for those supports. It's just an interesting area, and it's really abandoned. I can show you a shot of it inside when I pull up around the corner. This is the inside of that building I just showed you. Pretty rough shape, but someone trusted enough to keep their camper dry in it anyhow. So this is a huge long building, probably the longest one you'll see on the satellite view. I think most of it is empty. These are obviously truck doors. I don't know that there's ever any rail service here. Come on down around, and it doesn't look like they ever got any rail service here. Supports of that roof and the vents are the same size, or the same style, so I'm wondering if this was all part of the same facility at one time. I don't see any rails running up through here. I've been here before, and I drove all the way up that road thinking I could get out, and I can't. It just dead ends, so I couldn't get out. I had to turn around and come back the way I came. There's the water tower. I do want to walk over here and show you that sawtooth roof building is sort of like the ones that the Japanese manufacturers make, have those roofs like that. So you don't see them that much in the United States. But I'm going to keep on walking here. And this silver tank over here, again, I don't know what it is. But there are tank cars spotted there. So those are tank cars beside that white vertical tank. So that's still being used for something. And there's a bunch of tank cars back there too. So this is a fairly busy place. So this place says Brentag on it. The river is back behind it. There's a couple tank cars right beside me. Again, just a lot of tank car traffic here. So after that, I drove back out, and I was going up the main road, 25. And as you can, this is where they usually park their engine that I showed you the picture of. As you can see, Nitro was built to be a big town. I mean, it says 25th Street, 27th Street. It goes all the way up into the 40s, I believe. It's hard to believe. It's not that big of a town now. Okay. But anyhow, I was driving down. This is the yard for the Kanawha River Railway. I got down to close to Pickens Road, and there's a train sitting here, ready to go. So I talk about that in the video, so I'm not going to describe it a lot. But anyhow, I went down to went back Pickens Road, and there's some more industries down here. So this is a big cement dealer right here. So I'll show you some pictures of that. So I'm at the other side of the industrial park now. You can see the water tower on the other side of it. I guess this is a concrete place. A lot of covered hoppers, a lot of small covered hoppers. You may hear a whistle in the background, a horn in the background. I thought I was going to get lucky and see a train in Nitro, a real train. Had a Fred on the back of it and a couple engines on the front, maybe about, I don't know, 40, 50 cars sitting there, and I drove up ahead looking for a good place to film it. Couldn't find one, so I came back, and they're disconnected from the train and going the other way now, so I don't know what they're doing. but anyhow, I thought I'd shoot this, and then I'll go see if I can find them, and maybe they're going the other way. So this is a pretty cool concrete plant. I would guess that's what it is. Lehigh Heidelberg Cement Corporation. There it is right there. Obviously a busy place. I love that Maryland Midland car. I'll drive on up, so I see another railroad crossing up here. There's something else to see. Well, this was the railroad crossings sign, so I don't think anything has been back this spur in a while. I'm going to turn around and see what happened to the train. I'm going to stick this in here. Done some research. I was hoping to find some aerial photos of what this place looked like. This is where I was driving down around in here. Found all the abandoned spurs. This is where the buildings were gone. This was an old Monsanto plant, and they actually manufactured Agent Orange here. and it's a toxic waste site. This area that I talked about that's all fenced off, that's why it's all fenced off. Been site of a lot of cleanup, nothing can be there. It's got a bunch of wells in there, they're monitoring it. So I was only back there for a few minutes. It's not somewhere I would want to spend a lot of time back there, though, and there's still ongoing lawsuits from the residents of Nitro saying that the chemicals they produced there caused cancer and everything. So this is what it looked like back in the day when it was a Monsanto plant, and this actually extended up the river on the other side of the interstate. The road I'm driving on in the next video is at the bottom left corner. You can see those railroad crossings. I drive across them. They go back into the fenced off area. So again, I wasn't back there that long. I definitely would not want to camp out back there for any extended period of time, though. So I kept driving farther back, and there's just more and more abandoned tracks back here. On that way, again, this is the back side of that industry with all the tank cars. Try to zoom in, you can see some bunch of tank cars up there. This is a truck scale, and there's abandoned track right here. Goes back into there. So I'm crossing the tracks now. There's an abandoned track here. Goes back into that field. There's the turnout for it. And there's an abandoned track right ahead of me that goes into that field. So I don't know what was there, but it's all torn down now. Heard the horn again, so I'm going to go see if I can track down, see what that train's doing. Here's the track they all come off of right here. There's a cool old building. It's a neat place. Alright, stopping the video. Alright, I'm back in Barbersville, waiting on a train. Hope it's not too confusing, but I'm filming the intro and the exit to the Nitro video on Thursday. So, no trains yet in Barbersville. Still hopeful. Anyhow, again, that area was not, I don't know if I'd have been as enthused about it, knowing that it was, they made Agent Orange there. Again, I never really got out of the car over around where the Monsanto plant was, but it sure looks like somebody's living in that one place right next to the abandoned spur. I said this place is kind of neat. A couple cars there. It looks like somebody's living there. I don't know if I could do that. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that. There's a lot of interesting old railroad stuff there, and current railroad stuff too. So I'm going back to hopefully find a train here in Barbersville. So everybody stay safe.